We're all human, right up to Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. We're all human. And so this pentimento is nothing to be worried about. We all make changes, and we should, because it's a better understanding of where we're going, that we understand that. Okay, and there's the nose going up. And you see how it all comes together. So there you go. That's your answer to how do we start big to small, and the biggest shape is that. And if you take it back to basics again, it's that. And then we did that, or close to it. All right, but I love this. It's got a really nice style to it. I really like it a lot. And so you got a lot of great gesture in your work. So if you've got a lot of gesture, if you are a gesture man or woman, if you're gesture man or woman, try add structure. And then pull back. Okay, but gesture man, woman is the best place to be. Okay, if you're structure man, woman, add some gesture. It's the back and forth. Okay, back and forth gesture and structure. You can start with structure, or you can start with gesture. I tend to start with gesture if it's the entire body, or structure if it's a head, because the head is very structural. So the head has more structure to it, and so it makes more sense that we start with structure for that. The body has more gesture to it, especially the female form, much more gesture than the male form. So I start with gesture there, but I start with gesture in the male form too. Okay, let's have a look at Alex. And Alex has left a message for us. Let's have a look. I had trouble placing the facial features here and keeping them aligned properly. An attempt without a graphite underdrawing, I had much more trouble establishing structure with the charcoal, so I feel I don't have as much control as with graphite pencils. Okay, now graphite are great, but what they do is they give you a dot like that, whereas charcoal can give you this shape, a thin line like that, or a broad with a soft end to it, all in one little stroke. Whereas with the graphite pencil, you're basically doing this and that. If you sharpen it to a point like this, then you're on a good wicket, you know, to maybe get something out of it, because you're using this broad edge here. But you're still left with the problem that you've only got one tone. You've got a HB, or you've got a 2B, or probably the best, the 3B, unless you can get a lot of tone out of that. I would tend to go with the 8B if I'm using graphite, but you still end up with just silver. You just end up with silver on a page. And if you try and photograph it, you get a sheen. So I like charcoal for one reason only, and it's more versatile. It's as simple as that. There's no other reason for it. I'm not a PC Mac person. I just work with a Mac because it's simpler for me to work with. I'm not a graphite charcoal person, monger. I just use the graphite because I've tried both and it works better. But a lot of those drawings are graphite if it's all about line. For instance, the drawings I did for these, now that was charcoal. If I'm drawing big, charcoal is the way to go. But there's a few of those drawings that are graphite. Let's have a look. So we've been through all this, so you can see the problem here. That's going up a little high. So we want to get those eyes here. Whoops. Here, 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 here. It looks a bit strange here. The problem with photography as well, there's a lot of Photoshop retouching. The old photos are probably better. And this is an old photo, but I really feel like there's been a bit of work in here. That just looks wrong to me. And that very high light there is telling me that there's been some kind of, somebody's been messing. That's wrong. That bottom lip should pop out there. I wish people wouldn't do that, but I feel that that's a retouched photo badly. I really do. And I'm pretty sure what it is somebody's cut out this background, whatever it was. Maybe it's the background of Giant. He's in an oil field or something. And then they've done this. They've added this gray. Look how mottled it is. And in the process, they've cut out the anatomy. Oh dear, oh dear. Very poor. That's definitely what it is. Now that I look at it more and more, the more I see it, the more it's what it is. Yeah. That's ridiculous. And even if it isn't that, it's, you know, it's a bad composition. You know, we want to make sure that those, some part of the, yeah, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look, it's almost like a profile with some bits added. So it's a bad image. The ear's fantastic. no doubt about that. That's why I prefer the new Masters Academy. You know, these models are, there's nothing retouched on them. You get, look at all the bits and pieces that we get in real people, and now you know nothing's been retouched. Okay. Establishing structure with the charcoal. Okay, so it's just basically just more practice with the charcoal, Alex. So, you know, go back and forth with the graphite and the charcoal until you feel more comfortable. But I wouldn't give up on it, because obviously it works very, very well. A lot of great artists have used them through the years. They're definitely they're worth trying. Okay, so just watch those little things. Like I say, go back over what we've seen earlier. We need to do less and less of the critique as we go, because we're basically covering the same thing. So just keep an eye on these marks. There's that coffin shape in there, and he's got a little bit of a variation on that coffin shape, but it is still coming out here and there and coming down to there. And look what's happening here. We're actually looking up a little bit. You see that? Because we can see underneath the nose. You see, and the ears are a little bit lower than that nose. We're just very, very slightly looking upwards. Not much, but enough to just throw us off. So remember, not everything is going to be straight on. And that's why these straight on ideas are okay to begin with, but we got to keep our eye on those ears to see where people are looking.